Guys, what's going on? So it's Saturday, and normally on Saturday you're supposed to sell cars, but here I am just buying stuff left and right. Sometimes it's just how it goes. So I don't normally, if you don't know what we do here, we are fully a rebuilt title dealership, and we fix all of our cars here, and after we fix them we sell them. We're definitely, like, inside it looks like a body shop, but we don't operate like a body shop. We're a dealership. So one thing is, and you know, there's a ton of ways to make money. Obviously, you could be a normal dealership, you could do this. There's so many ways to do it, and then you find how you're comfortable making money, and you just have to keep trying to grow that. Normally, we buy all of our cars from Copart or IAA, and it sounds crazy, but the reason why I love Copart and IAA, if you know what you're doing, you get to buy cars that were taken from their owners when they least expected it. So what that usually means is, if you know what you're doing and the type of stuff that you're buying, almost everything shows up without issues, without mechanical issues, without serious issues. Obviously, there's collision damage. Like, I'll give you an example. When one of my friends calls me and they say they have an AMG and they started it one morning and it sounded crazy and there was a ton of rattles, my answer to that is, hey man, go drive that thing in a CarMax or see what Carvana is going to offer you, because you're about to fall into a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 repair bill. So I think it's safer to buy cars that were totaled, that were taken from their owners when they least expected it. They weren't looking to sell it or move out of it, and that's worked for us. But anyways, I bought 3 cars today, and 2 of them, I can't believe I bought 2 cars off of, if you're not familiar, there is a flipping cars group on Facebook, and it is like, it is awful. Okay, it is, you know, for lack of better, I don't know how to describe it. You have to kind of, it's not the most intelligent people in the group, and I can't believe that I met this dude, but he posted, hey, does anybody buy rebuilt title cars? And he's a dealer, and I looked him up. He's a wholesaler, so, you know, and the cars were on OVE, but we did the deal off OVE because I just, I didn't want to pay the OVE fees, and I just rolled it. I just sent it. You can't be scared in this business. Okay, you have. Let me flip that back. You can't be scared buying cars. You have to trust your instinct, and you got to send it. You know what I mean? Like, you need inventory. You can't be this guy who's constantly scared to buy stuff. But here's what happened today. I bought a 2016 ATS-V with a rebuilt title. It's got 54,000 miles on it. And I bought a 2018 M3 Competition 6-speed manual. It's got 31,000 miles on it. Both of them are rebuilt titles, and both of them are already fixed. So we don't normally buy cars that are already fixed, but it's not really a big deal. I used my best judgment and my instinct, and I think it paid off. I think I'll be okay. And even if we got to correct a couple of little things, it's not a big deal. But let's check this out. Let's start with the. So this is the ATS-V we bought. Now, even when I buy these cars off of Copart and IAA, I'm always ordering carbon fiber lips. So the carbon fiber lip is missing, but the rest of the car, is just in fantastic shape. You know, I've driven it already. This thing is definitely tuned. I think I might have smelled a hint of E85. I'll have to reach out to some people and try to see if I could find. Now, one thing that I don't like, I don't know what they did here. I don't know why the bumper is cut right here. Or maybe that's not all the way in. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix this. I don't know if we have to go in more, or we got to see what happened there. But obviously we're not going to sell the car like that. I think that looks awful. On the ATS-V, the only other issue is I think there was a scratch. There's a dent on the fender right here. I don't know if you could see it, but right there, it's kind of bowed. It's bowed out a little bit, so we got to fix that. But otherwise, for buying a rebuilt title car from a wholesaler, which could be scary, otherwise this thing is great. The steering wheel feels nice and clean. This thing fires right up. We got 0 codes, 0 issues, 0 warnings in the message system. Great unit. This was a great buy, and we'll go over the numbers in a minute here on everything. Awesome, real happy with this. Let's go see what else. So we bought this M3, which in my opinion, I think the front bumper on these cars looks really naked without a front lip. And while I don't have to, we will order a front lip for this thing just to make the car more appealing. This is a 18 M3, 30,000 miles, comp package. I don't know, like I'm not super familiar with these cars, so I'm not like, I don't know the ins and outs and the little, you know, options they come with or don't come with. The only damage that I know of so far is we're probably gonna have to replace this wheel. So the car was hit. The car was hit primarily in this area. Let's see, do I have the key? Everything looks good though. It's not, it's nothing too crazy. Door opens nice, closes nice. Don't have to slam it. I'm just pushing too light, but you definitely don't have to slam it. I guess I gotta push a little bit harder, huh? Okay. I'll have to get used to that. That's first time there's an M3 here. I don't know if all the doors are like that. Let's see. Let's see if I okay, that closed a little bit better. So maybe I'm not pushing this hard enough. Okay, we'll have to look into that, but I'm not too worried about that little adjustment. But the gaps look great, the paint looks great. Not super worried about this thing. Let's check this thing out. I've never been in one of these until now. No codes. Sounds pretty good. We'll have to get familiar with these a little bit. First time I've had an M3 here. I mean, we've had a ton of cool stuff. A lot of American stuff, a lot of trucks, a lot of 911 turbos, a lot of non-turbos. We just sold a GTS. I have a 4S, a lot of 997 stuff. Love 997s. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. So we'll look into this. Let me turn this thing off. But yeah, so far, pretty happy with that. Now, I just bought this car. And let me tell you about this car. This car, we bought this thing damaged and we fixed it. We fixed it and I had sold it to the owner almost a year ago. About 9 months ago, I sold him this car. This car had damage down the side. We sold him this car. He added 12,000 miles to it. And he called me up and he said, hey man, I think I want to sell this thing. And we bought it. And the spread, you know, the spread between what we sold it to him and what we bought it back for was only $5,000. Okay, now you could pretty much buy any car at any dealership, clean title or not, you know, or a car with no history. If you buy something, you know, for 45 or 48 grand, and you want to come back to the dealer a year later and you only lose $5,000 for that decision that you made, that's really good. That's not a lot of money to lose. Buy a car for 48 grand, sell it back for 43. That's good. That's a good way to protect your money. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrific. You know, we didn't sell this for 48 and we didn't buy it back for 43. What I'm saying is the spread between what we did and didn't, it was only $5,000. So it's not a horrendous loss to the customer. I also honestly believe that he could have, he added 13,000 miles to this in less than 9 months. He could have probably put 20 or 30,000 miles on it and it would still be worth exactly the same. Or if he wanted to sell it himself, I think he could have sold it himself and got most of his money back, if not all of it. When we sold this to him, we gave him a really good deal on it. This is a 2023 CT4 Blackwing. This is a 6-speed. However, this is the only, so we've done a couple of these cars, but this is the only car that we've done that was an absolute base model. This is a base model, no seats, no sunroof, no carbon. And then when we rebuilt this car, we added these wheels to it. But this thing is a super, this is an MSRP car, no option car. Still solid. There's a lot of guys that don't like the sports seats. These things are really comfortable. The comfort seats are really comfortable. And like I would expect, we do need to get this thing serviced for an oil change, but no issues with this car. I wouldn't expect any issues. And this is a 6-speed. So we just bought these 3 cars, and let's go over what I think is going to happen. I think the ATS-V is going to make somewhere between 6 and okay. You never know what's going to happen in the markets, right? It's kind of dependent how good you are and how good your marketing ability is. I think this ATS-V is going to make us somewhere between $6,000 and $10,000 profit. I think the M3 is probably going to make somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 of profit. And I think the CT4, because I really was aggressive on the number that I gave him to buy back, I think this thing is going to make, let's say, $4 to $5 grand. That's what I think the profit's going to be. 4 to 5K here, you know, maybe around 7 here, maybe around 8 on the ATS. So 8, 7, 15. So like 20 G's profit between these 3 cars. That's if I'm right. There are times when I'm not right and you get it wrong and you can't sell the car, or you know, you only sell it and you make $1,000, or you sell it just to break even. I've sold cars to lose money. That happens, but it's important that you act on your instinct and you act on market data. We're always doing cool stuff here. We just got this CTS-V. I just uploaded a video about it. There's a 13 GT5 there. We have a 12 GT5 at detail. We have let's see what we got. We have a 17 SS that's finished. We have a sedan ATS-V that's going through it. We got an F250, an F350, a Z06, an F350 or 250, and a 996 turbo buried in the back. So cool stuff's always coming and going here. And we do regular stuff too. I got a couple Mavericks, got a 4Runner, got a Tundra. But anyways, these are the 3 cars that I bought today on a Saturday. I should be selling cars. Instead of money coming back to us, I just casually spent close to 100 or 3 cars. Another thing that's very difficult about this business is very cash heavy. 3 cars, 100 grand. Like, that's nothing. You know, some other dealership might have bought 40 cars today, you know, or 30 cars. They might have bought 30 cars. You never know. So the problem, the challenge with growing a auto sales based business, or motorcycle sales, or power sports, or boats, or anything, the challenge is these are all extremely heavy capital businesses, super heavy capital. Like, generally, dude, generally we spend 35 grand on a car and I try to sell it for 39, 30 or 40. You know, that's like the general. The general. Do you get lucky sometimes? Of course, sometimes we get lucky. Sometimes I bought a car for 70 and I sold it for 90 and it made 20 grand. That happens. But the general way to survive in this is it's a tight game. The profit margin is tight. There's no like getting rich off one car. It just doesn't happen. Anyways, 3 cars today. Super cool. Too bad that wasn't manual. Then we would have bought 3 6-speed cars in one day. But manual, auto. And if you like the content, follow along, man. I'll keep it coming. And we'll see where I can take this.